PathMonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. PathMonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add PathMonk to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmonk.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Lilian Cuesta from X Data. How are you doing today, Lilian?
I'm good, Ernesto. Thank you very much for having me. I'm really excited to talk with you.
It's great to have you on. And well, I'm sure our listeners are tuning in, wondering what X Data is all about. So let's kick it off with that, Lilian. In your own words, tell us a little bit more.
Of course. Well, X Data is a Mexican data analytics and data visualization company. We're mainly focused on consulting and providing different kind of services related to data, such as data architecture, data lake, business intelligence, among others.
Okay, perfect. All right. And so that way our listeners who are tuned in can get a good understanding of X Data, Lilian. What are some key problems that you guys like to solve for clients?
Well, we provide different kind of solutions tailored to the specific needs of our clients. We have clients all over Latin America, Spain, Mexico, Colombia, So we identify every problem they have that could be solved with data. Maybe they have a lot of data that they don't know how to use in their companies, or they need to automatize some process. So that's where we're the best at.
Okay, perfect. Also, and so, I mean, I know you work with logistics, manufacturers, retail. Would those be your main verticals, or is there another ICP that you guys like to go for?
Well, yeah, we have a lot of experience in many industries, like pharmaceutical. We also provide for clients in retail, CPG. So we like to do different stuff that challenge us.
Definitely. Okay, awesome. Great to hear that. So then, and so that way, if say I'm in retail, right? How would I usually find out about X Data? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
Yeah, well, we've been tried so many different strategies. That's how marketing works. But nowadays, what has been working best for us is good SEO strategies. And also, we have a podcast too that it's called Data Shot, where I interview professionals to help us understand how data works in their different industry. And actually, that has been really good for bringing leads to the company and also to picture us as a reference in data, which, it always helps in terms of branding positioning.
Definitely important. And well, I'm sure we'll get it at one point, have PathMonk on there as well. So thanks for that. We'll be happy to be on there. And on that note then, so that way our listeners who are tuned in could go ahead and visit you. You could always check them out at x-data.mx. What role does a website then play for client acquisition?
For us, it's really, really important. I think having an updated website is a must. We're currently working in a major update of our website, and we identify that our clients always visit it, made their research, and lots of contacts get to us through that way. So yes, in my experience, it's very important to keep an eye on that, and also to build a strong SEO and content marketing strategy.
Definitely important, right, to convert those leads that are coming in. And so is there any tools or tips or methods that you would recommend to our listeners as far as some website lead generation?
Yeah, especially I think that you have to be very clear with your information, because sometimes we try to sound like very romantic, very creative. And I think that we just have to say things as they are and always thinking the user experience, especially in what you as a client or a user would search for. Wording is very important. And I think maybe a common mistake could be trying to sound like you know everything, but if you must begin to put your client's way of thinking as a priority and to make their journey very easy through your website. Like make it very easy to contact you and also share your testimony, share your success stories so they know what you can do.
Definitely important. Thank you so much for sharing that with our audience here, Lilian. And well, let's switch gears a little bit, Lilian, and let's talk about you as a leader there. You being the Chief Communications Officer there for X Data, what are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
Yeah, well, I especially work in problem solving and always staying updated about what's going on, not only in marketing things, but into the tech industry, because we know that's something that it's always changing. So we need to be aware of that to make our communications more attractive, engaging, and to our buyer personas know that they can trust us. Also, being in communication with the operations team and sales team is a priority.
Definitely important, right? You got to know where the ship is sailing to, right? So awesome to hear that. And well, in your between time, Lilian, how do you stay updated with all the news in the marketing world, trends, strategies? Is there a preferred channel that you like to go with?
Yeah, well, I can tell I love listening to podcasts, and also the interviews I make in DataShot helps me the most because it's like taking a step forward from theory to practice and listening to the experience of others in different industries and real use cases is what helps me the most.
Okay, perfect. All right, great to sharing that with our listeners. And well, let's jump into our next section here, Lilian, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
Of course.
Awesome, perfect, awesome. So first off, Lilian, then what is the last book that you read?
Okay, well, nothing to do with data or marketing actually, but the last one I read is called Ikigai. I don't remember the author, but it talks about this Japanese term to find why you leave your bed every day. And also I'm currently reading one called Eat and Run. I'm training for a marathon, and I love to do this analogy with professional careers or just day-to-day work, focusing on these small wins and improvements instead of only the final goal.
All right, interesting that they're reads for our listeners. Next up then, Lilian, is what is one single thing that the company is focused on at the moment the most?
To find that sweet spot between growing the company's marketing and sales. Because sometimes we try to improve our branding, but we forget about lead acquisition. So we're trying to make the perfect mix to increase our sales.
Definitely. I mean, it's always that balance, right? Marketing, sales, we can go the other, and then the other, and then there's a feud. So definitely that balance is important there. Next up then is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, Lilian, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
Okay, that's a good question. I'm thinking about something related to data. It's still kind of hard to measure things sometimes, and I don't think there is just this formula that works for everyone, and it's a lot of A/B testing. So maybe that would help us reduce the time it takes to get to what it works better for your company, your industry, your goals. To find that would be a jackpot.
Definitely. Okay, great. That would be really nice, not just for you, but for everybody, right? That would be really good. Awesome. Next up then is, if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
Okay. I don't know if that already exists. Maybe I need to do some research in this, but Now I'm thinking of a tool that helps me track how my competition is doing, like implementing maybe similar marketing strategies or marketing tools as I am, or maybe other companies just to open up my radar. But I'm sure that that would increase the marketing level in the world hugely because it sounds to me like the open code where programmers build and improve something that already exists, like something similar to that, but in marketing.
Definitely. Well, if somebody's out there listening to this, reach out to Lilian Cuesta. You can find her on LinkedIn, right?
Please.
Awesome. And then, well, lastly, Lilian, then is, I mean, what would be that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
That's a hard question, but it would be don't be afraid to try it all. The faster you try and make mistakes, the faster you learn, of course, and also to take the most of the tools and technologies around you, and that will save you lots of time, especially nowadays that there are like plenty of options.
Definitely important. All right. Thank you so much for that advice, not just for yourself, but for our listeners. And well, Lilian, we are coming to the end of today's episode here at Pathbunk Presents. But before we do end, I do want to give you the last word. If someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is that one thing they should remember about X data?
That you can find data everywhere, so you should take advantage of that. And that's why we transform data into earnings.
There, you guys heard it. You could always visit them at x-data.mx. They will help you resolve your problems and make better decisions for your business through analysis of data, dashboards, and visualizations. Lilian, thank you so much for being on with us today. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pathbunk Presents. Thanks a lot, Lilian.
Thank you, Ernesto.